Hi everyone, this is Kevin Curtis of Monitor It. Today I'd like to give you an overview of Monitor It IoT capabilities and our offerings, followed by a demonstration of our IoT solution, which includes sensor data collection systems, as well as our backend IoT SaaS collection, monitoring, notification, alerting, and IoT analytics cloud. As you can see, at the highest level, we are an outcome-based federal and national security-focused IoT enablement and IoT monitoring SaaS business. In terms of IoT applications, we are focused on monitoring and optimization of assets and operations, as well as security applications like CBRN, chemical and biological, radiological defense, that essentially increase the predictive and responsive situational awareness of our national security community customers on CBRN and environmental type related threat vectors. Here you see the three tiers of our end-to-end IoT enablement services. These include IoT consulting, which allows you to envision, plan, and design your IoT use case and application. The next tier service is IoT sensor systems, which provide you with IoT edge devices, IoT cloud gateways, and multimodal connectivity capability. And finally, the last tier is our IoT machine cloud, which is a SaaS service for monitoring IoT events in real time and subsequently getting alerts and notifications in cases of anomaly that is detected, so that an action can be actualized. I think the key emphasis is that other than our consulting service, the tier one here you see on the left, the rest of Monitor It IoT enablement offerings are provided as an outcome-based service, thereby really requiring no upfront capex. In this way, we tremendously, I believe, we accelerate our customers' time to market. To give you a synopsis of the enablement process and how it would work, we would firstly collaborate with our customers to design the right IoT solution that's tailored to their needs and requirements, objectives, mission goals. We then deploy and manage the sensor infrastructure and the IoT analytics machine cloud. And the customer then buys the information they require on a secure web-based visibility dashboard that provides them with the situational awareness on their operations, their assets, or their threat vectors, as the case may be. And all of this is based on a monthly subscription fee. We call it IoT enablement and procurement, as easy as 1, 2, 3. Moving on to the next slide, I'd like to examine why Monitor It is focused in the federal and national security market. We recently conducted the call plans with key federal market decision makers and technology leaders. And basically what we discovered was that although there's a great deal of interest in IoT, confusion reigns. So people don't really know what is the path to IoT enablement. And there's no clear vision. There's a lot of talk about technology. It's hot. It's a huge market. But how do you go about enabling that within the context of your agency's needs and strategy and mission requirements is still a bit of a vague, cloudy area. And so the gist of what we derived from discussions with these decision makers, technology leaders, was that the IoT vision, innovation, and leadership is missing. And what the customers really need is turnkey IoT enablement, somebody that will sit with them, do the requisite consulting, design the right solution and application, give them the enabling solution technology blocks like the sensors, IoT gateways, the ability to collect that data, analyze it, and finally, give them a visibility dashboard that gives them situational awareness about assets, operations, or threat vectors. Given that discovery, what we did is we essentially put together, assembled a marquee team that will enable us to provide the national security customers with turnkey IoT enablement services to respond to the calling based on the call plans that we had executed. So as you can see here, we divided the value chain of delivering turnkey IoT enablement into three components. First is IoT consulting and planning, things like IoT visioning and having a planning session with a customer and deciding what their connected service ought to look like. What's the payback period? What are the ROI analysis? What's the business case, if you will? These IoT consulting services are delivered by our exclusive IoT consulting and advisory partner, CCG, Curtis Consulting Group. The next value chain component, as you see, is the IoT machine cloud and monitoring SaaS. This would entail activities like such as IoT application development and IoT machine cloud selection and rapid development of applications that collect data from edge devices. This is developed essentially using ThingWorx source code and is delivered by monitored as a SaaS hosted solution on our AWS FedRAMP compliant cloud and data center that's located in Northern Virginia. The final component of the value chain is the IoT sensor platforms and the IoT cloud gateway. In this area, we have an exclusive partnership with Enablement, whose IoT sensors and gateways are optimized for monitored ThingWorx SaaS cloud. Through this last partnership, we provide national security customers with a selection of wireless sensor networks and over 90 specific sensors for detection of a variety of parameters, such as hazardous gas detection, as well as radiation detection, as an example. In this next slide, I wanted to provide a perspective as to the overall size of the IoT market and, more importantly, the federal segment of it. In the top right quadrant, you see IDC's forecast for nearly 28 billion IoT devices by 2020. Studies show that Cisco and GE put that number closer to 55 billion. McKinsey sees a global size of the IoT market to be about $6 trillion in terms of actual sales of products and services, with at least half of that in the United States alone. Based on our studies, we are a little more conservative. We believe the U.S. market is about $1 to $2 trillion, with around $350 billion of it in the federal public sector and national security market. So you can see why we are specifically focusing in this market, because at the moment, if you look at the bulk of the IoT activities, they're focused in sort of consumer, commercial, smart city applications, all of which we believe in, but we think that the federal market has much more mission critical application requirements and it's underserved. So we are strictly focused in the federal national security market. Now, if you look at the left-hand side of this slide, you would see data from Verizon, which notes that they have increased their public sector M2M connections at a compounded annual growth rate of around 46% in the last 2 to 3 years. And frankly, supporting this growth rate is data by the U.S. Department of Transportation that notes, as you see in the upper side here, 2.5 million miles of pipeline around the U.S. require monitoring and protection. Another data point from our partner CCG is that the U.S. Air Force has discovered a potential to save about $20 million annually in O&M costs, operations and maintenance costs, associated with the C-130 military combat platform alone. And as you can imagine, Air Force in itself has many different platforms that could be beneficiary of such savings, and that's just one of the services branches, if you will. So in short, the IoT market will have pent-up demand for turnkey IoT enablement solutions, particularly as relates to the federal market. In this next slide, I just wanted to put in perspective Monitor's IoT technology stack, which provides a sensor-agnostic event monitoring solution on a SaaS basis, software as a service basis, on a FedRAMP-compliant AWS machine cloud. Just very briefly, in the very bottom, you see a variety of sensors and devices. We are totally agnostic to what sensor. You could use our sensors, which are really optimized to a variety of applications that are required in the federal market, or you could use any other embedded sensor that you might have in your infrastructure, or any other vendor that might be more suitable for your environment. We're really agnostic to that. So we can collect data from any sensor. We have a variety of communication protocols that we can accommodate, whether it's WebSocket or MQTT, or some of the more popular sensor data transmission protocols, as well as the network technologies, whether it's wireless LAN, 3G, LoRa technologies. We can accommodate any of those communication data transmission protocols. And then you kind of go into the application enablement layer, which is really where we have our distinction and differentiation. We have a IoT connectivity middleware, a device cloud management environment, as well as the IoT application enablement. So what is the application that is going to put in perspective all of the data that are being collected by the variety of sensors that are deployed? That is the monitored IoT platform. And then on top of that, there is a tool that would allow you to do your own application development, or better yet, consistent with a subscription-based model, you would give us the requisite requirements for your visibility. We will develop the application, simply give you a visibility dashboard for whatever operational parameters that you like to have visibility on, and tailor it as needs change. This next slide dives deeper into our IoT machine cloud, which provides sensor data visualization and analytics capability. Just very briefly, on the left-hand side, you see the variety of sensors that I talked about. These could be new sensors, they could be embedded sensors that you already have in your infrastructure. It could be a variety of sensors that we provide, and it could be for a variety of use cases: CBRN, gas detection, operational efficiency detection, monitoring capabilities. We also can accommodate, as I noted, a variety of data communication protocols: Amazon Kinesis, MQTT, SNMP, and we have the ThingWorx platform sitting in our cloud that is able to speak to a variety of data platforms through a variety of communication means: TLS, MQTT, WebSocket, or otherwise. Once the data is collected, as you can see, we have these visibility dashboards that give you a visual representation of the requisite data that you're interested in. So you have real-time situational awareness as to the critical events that are taking place. All of that is accompanied by notification methodology that in the event that a critical event passes certain threshold limits that are concerning, individuals can be notified, so requisite action can be taken. And obviously, as the data gets collected in our backend machine cloud, we can provide you with a variety of analytics capabilities, so you can visualize the historical trends of data sets and how things are shifting. And you see that represented by the graph on the very right-hand side of this slide. This slide shows you a partial overview of our Libelium national security sensors that connect to our monitored cloud through REST APIs. And as a result of that, that increases the accuracy and, most importantly, the security through which the encrypted application keys are collecting sensor data. There is really no way of penetrating the transport tunnel of these sensors as they transmit data into our backend system, because we use the WebSocket technology. It's one of the most secure technologies in terms of data collection from a variety of dispersed edge sensors. Again, I can't overemphasize the importance of security as these edge devices begin to proliferate. Just to kind of put in perspective how much we pay attention to security within the Internet of Things sensors and applications, I put together this next slide just to show you the unparalleled level of security features and measures that we have baked in to our monitoring cloud and the tunnels that collect data from the sensors. So we have the monitored edge microserver that essentially handles user and device authentication. So you know as you're talking to a device that that's an authorized device to transmit data, and nobody can make a change to that encrypted tunnel. Our machine cloud platform has extremely granular security model in terms of people that can access the platform, as well as individual applications and any kind of a runtime data. We have a very robust access control list model, and we essentially encrypt all of the data that is collected by the sensors in a encrypted backend storage. Our platform has no secret backdoor API that would be used for administrative purposes. All APIs will require authentication, and there is no ability to turn off encryption. We have just essentially baked those security features into our backend system. And as I noted earlier on, by using the encrypted WebSocket channel to establish a one-time channel to the edge sensor, we have a dedicated channel between the two users in a way, our backend system and the edge sensor, which ensures a secure audited connection. And if you go to our website, you can learn more about, significantly more about our security features that are baked in to our backend monitoring and analytics server. And in this next slide, I just wanted to kind of demonstrate some of the IoT use cases that we have developed. This one is a national security use case related to chemical and biological defense, and you can read again more about it on our website. The next slide demonstrates multiple use cases for smart city applications, many of which will actually have application in the federal market, even in the national security market. Finally, we have a use case for a smart campus. It's essentially an application for campus safety and monitoring students and notifying students and administrative staff within the university. It was deployed at the University of Queensland. I have this one here because I think it's very much akin to monitoring a military base or a depot or a compound. For a more extensive set of use cases and the enabling sensors technology blocks that allow these use cases to come to fruition, please visit our website at www.monitor8.com or drop us a line and we'd be happy to discuss specific use cases relative to your requirements. In summary, Monitor8 is an end-to-end IoT enablement services company. This slide shows the ease with which a customer can procure our services. Simply, you go to our website, select the ordering link, pick your IoT application, pick your sensor kit, select your data collection mode, whether you want it to be enterprise or cloud-based as an example, and watch us deliver that IoT monitoring solution and service to you in under 8 to 10 weeks. And as I noted before, this is a OpEx-based model, so you're essentially subscribing to an outcome rather than deploying all of the front-end edge sensors and running all the analytics and monitoring clouds on the back end. That is the end of the presentation. Again, this slide has our sales contact details as well as details to reach me directly. You also note a list of all of the partners that we have put together in our ecosystem that, in a sense, allows us to be virtually vertically integrated and bring some of the best breed solutions and capabilities to our customers. And that concludes the presentation part here. what I wanted to do was to very briefly give you a demo of how our system essentially works. So by way of an example, I'm going to take you to a IoT gateway that we have. This is the manager system for this IoT gateway, which is cloud optimized. And you will see here we have a LoRa-based communication system that's collecting sensor data from a sensor that we have deployed. As you can see, the data is reading today's date, which is November 18th. This morning at 9:27. The sensor has been sending data to the IoT gateway. There are 5 or 6 parameters like atmospheric pressure, humidity, temperature, level of carbon monoxide, and pressure levels that are being measured by the sensor. That's all being sent by the sensor to the cloud tool located in this IoT gateway management system. The cloud tool is connected on the back end. This is the digital twin representation of the sensor and the 5 parameters of data that are being collected. And as you can see, the data is being transmitted by our IoT gateway at the moment to our cloud system, which is running on this AWS cloud address, as you see. And if I were to then subsequently take you to that AWS instance, and again, our customers are able to access this right on our portal based on a credential that we provide for you. We will now be going to our IoT application development and monitoring tool located on Amazon Cloud. The digital twin of the sensor that I showed you is this node 1 that is currently sending data. And these are the parameters, again, temperature, pressure, humidity, carbon monoxide, and battery level to our ThingWorx interface. And we then, based on this, develop a visibility dashboard for you that would look something similar to one of these visibility dashboards that I'm going to share with you. In some cases, customers may like to develop their own applications. In other cases, they don't have the resources or the desire for that matter. All they want to see is the dashboard that you see before you. This one is a simulation dashboard we've developed for Acme Rental. It's all about them tracking their cars and the driver that car has been assigned to or rented to. And you can see where the cars are all located. And you can get details about a particular driver, in this case, John Sims, and whether or not he's hard braking or revving the engine. What's the engine load on that car? What is the speed that John Sims is using during his driving? Where is he located? And if he's breaking contractual agreements, a critical event, you can actually observe that on this dashboard panel on the right, and based on the corporate agreement, send a message to the driver. That's one of the instances. Another interesting instance is a building management application that we have developed. You can see in this case we are monitoring the HVAC system of a company, looking at inlet flow, pressure, temperature, and you can kind of look at different buildings and different parameters that are being generated by various sensors. I want to show you one more example of a dashboard. This is our smart parking solution. It shows a city with a variety of parking lots and parking facilities. You can essentially look at the details of parking spaces that are available. So here you can see the first level is full. On the right side, you see a video that shows people coming in to park. We can move our gauge here to level 2. You can see the green spots demonstrate the parking spaces that are available. You move to level 3, you notice there's a lot more parking spaces available. And at the same time, you're gaining video awareness into all of the activities locally. So essentially, you're gaining a situational awareness dashboard without the knowledge of any programming. All you have to do is give us the requirements that you have. We design this dashboard for you, give you a private credential secure link to this visibility dashboard, and you can monitor various attributes and parameters. And if changes are required, you simply notify us and we will add a variety of widgets to your dashboard here. That concludes my presentation. I hope you found it useful. Please do surf our website for more information. And if you have any questions and you'd like to have a free consulting sessions as to how we would enable IoT for your particular organization, please call us or email sales@monitorit.com. Thank you very much for your time today.